Welcome back, guys. Today it is a pretty cloudy and windy day, unfortunately, here, and as you can see, looks like it's about to start pissing down at some point. But I'm just going to go help Jeremy put some new brakes on his Beamer, I believe, or his Mazda. I'm not quite sure, he didn't mention, but put brakes on one of his cars. So hopefully they haven't rusted and it all goes smoothly and we can actually put brakes on them, because I've had trouble with mine, them being completely rusted out, especially BMW, but we'll see when we get there. But I'm going to film an update on our Project E46. So Jeremy and I picked up a manual BMW E46 320i about a year and a bit ago now. It was Sam's old car, so if you watched for a bit, you know Sam. His brother's old car that sat in his driveway for about 3 or 4 years, I might be wrong, I think it was about 3 or 4 years, and pretty much didn't run. It had no third gear because it's a manual. It just ground into third. You couldn't do anything. Yeah, it was also leaking everything imaginable. So we ended up getting it running, new battery, and it put a bunch in it. And I'll put some clips in here from a while ago. It was in an old video, but the video was titled something completely different. So this is Sam's old car, and we're trying to revive it, Jeremy and I. So it's been sitting for 2 years, and we put a new battery in, put some petrol in, we just put some new oil in.
That's satisfying.
Bruh. We're putting some water in now, and it's cranked. Didn't start. We didn't want to start with old fluids. So let's see if this runs. The tires look alright. They're pretty soft, but we can probably make it to the petrol station. We have a temporary vehicle permit, Jeremy and I, and we're about to head home. There's a beautiful Penrite sticker with nothing on it, and we're gonna see if this thing with no third gear at all even runs. This will be fun. It's got no tire pressure. We're gonna drive it to the petrol station.
Yeah, drive it to the nearest.
So we're just sticking tire in this we're sticking air pressure in this thing.
You know, when you're standing from a distance at the right angle, it looks quite good, and then you get up and realize
it's actually a drift missile, like legitimately. We stripped the seats out of this thing, turboed it.
But instead some poor probably going to buy it in a month, and we're going to tell them it's perfect maintenance and shit. Alright, back on the road we go for some cheap petrol.
Oh, slammed this hard enough.
Oh, I'm going to fucking put my belt on.
So we made it back to mine. We're going to clean it with Jeremy. There's a lot that needs to be done. It's about the only physical dent on the whole car. The rest is key scratches, paint damage, and then the interior is absolutely filthy. I'm going to do an update on it and show you guys a bit of the car and what we've done to it so far, because it is pretty cool and it looks a lot better than it did, and it has had a lot of work done to it, and it actually runs really nicely, and Jeremy's decided to keep it. We were going to sell it, but he ended up deciding to keep it because it's a great little car and a lot of fun, and it's now had pretty much every seal in its engine replaced, and the transmission has been rebuilt, and pretty much everything is done to make it daily drivable. So let's stop talking about it and I'll actually show you. We'll be at Jeremy's in about 5 minutes, but for you about 2 seconds, so let's go. Alrighty.
Are you ready?
I am ready. Are you ready?
Meaty f***ing goodness of that.
Jeremy's obsessed with his new rotors.
Oh, they stink. Why do brakes fucking stink so bad?
Who knows, probably because, oh, I can smell that too. What the hell? I haven't shown it for a long time. I know I showed it like one video ago, but not properly.
The plates, you gotta show them the plates.
I have actually. So it's been registered. This is the Project E46 project. It's become Jeremy's project because he wanted to keep it. I don't particularly know why, but I was going to flog it off once we repaired a bit of the mechanical side of things.
I had a f***ing blown gearbox.
Yeah, but we could have sold it to a wrecker or sold it as is for maybe a couple hundred more than what we put into it.
We're missing one jack point, I should mention it, the one that I ripped off.
That's alright. So I'll put a photo of this car in before when we got it, or a video, and this is what it looks like now. Jeremy has stupidly painted over the badge when he attempted to paint this hood. But that is just rainwater at the moment that's stained everything. He's put black grills on. These are AliExpress grills. They actually fit pretty decent. I'm surprised. I have them on my V8 and they do not fit that well, so this is actually pretty good. So today we're changing these rust, these are actually alright, but the back ones, these are so dusty. As you can see, these are so rusty. So they're going to be replaced now. This thing will sufficiently be roadworthy again.
And mechanic down onto the brick.
That's a really bad idea, you realise?
No, because I can't f***ing fit my jack. So you put it on the brick, you get the extra like inch, and then I can put the jack on the jack point. Because that's bending up.
Why don't you use the jack that came with the car?
Oh, the jack, the one that doesn't exist.
Ghetto mechanic tricks. Jeremy's managed to get the jack under the car. I think that's enough, dude. That's pretty far off the ground already.
How the f*** am I supposed to put my jack stand under it?
You have a jack stand?
Yeah.
Ah. See, Jeremy's actually more prepared than me. So I think we're going to give both of these a sufficient wash after today, because mine is absolutely disgusting. And this one, well, no words for this, honestly. Look at this shit. Jeremy forgot to loosen the lug nuts before doing this.
Shut up, you forgot to.
Well, it's your job. I'm just here to supervise. You need to lower it even more.
Doesn't go anymore. Oh, this is the one that just doesn't have a nut.
And that's a lock nut.
No, it just doesn't have a nut in it.
What? Oh, what?
The threads are stripped.
Bruh. There we go. Jeremy has actually put new pads on. What?
Someone used my locking nuts at a workshop. They
Guess
didn't put
what?
them back in.
Guess what?
You've got them.
We have the same car pretty much. I'm pretty confident the E39 has the same lock nut as the E46. Never mind, he just found it. But yeah, we're not putting pads on, we're just doing rotors. These are Repco special rotors, cheap as shit.
86 a piece.
86 a piece. That is really cheap.
120 regularly each.
That's still pretty good price. So Jeremy forgot to jack up the car before he took the final nut off, and the wheel just slammed on its front. So it's probably hella scratched up now. Oh no, it's actually alright. It doesn't really matter anyway, the rims are horrible. These are one of the, I would consider the worst stock BMW rim I've ever seen. No offense, but genuinely. A common problem I've experienced too on these, because these cars rust. Yes, Jeremy doesn't know which pedal's a brake pedal on a manual. This little tiny screw is the culprit of you not being able to take off these rotors, because it just completely kind of disintegrates. So, oh, I got it. There we go. So luckily this one wasn't totally gone. Shoved a fatter Allen key in there and it's actually worked. So then there should be just like 1 or 2 pins behind the caliper and we should be able to take this off. So we've got the caliper guide off. Took all of 5 seconds to pop off. Now we just need to unscrew these little things at the back here. Take the caliper off and hopefully we can replace this. This would be very easy. We have the right tool, but the brake line actually sits in the way of putting this tool in, so we're trying to use an adjustable wrench. Being the unqualified idiots that we are, we didn't realize we had to take off the caliper completely before removing the rotor guide, and that's what actually held us up. We have sufficiently removed the caliper and the brake rotor guides, so now we're just left with the rotor to swap out. The rotor is now off. It just needed a pretty good yank. It's a little bit rusted here, but it's not too bad. We're going to wipe this down with some brake cleaner and stuff and towel and just see how it goes. So now the true test, is Jeremy going to be able to reconstruct the brakes without me? Because I'm not going to touch them. He's going to redo everything.
Maybe we should get brake part cleaner.
Look at that shiny new brake rotor. There we go. As Jeremy fiddles with it to try and stick it back on.
I think I should go and get some brake part cleaner.
Yeah, we kind of need brake cleaner.
He's tightening something up. Would be a shame if the car fell on his head and crushed him to death.
We're pretty much done now, which is actually not bad.
See, we had to put our heads together. We were a bit f***ing retarded for 10 minutes.
We are done. The first side. That's good. You need 4 hands, don't you, Jeremy? Shame my 2 are busy.
How about you jerk me off?
Work on cars, they said. Jeremy's actually ripped the jack point off this side of the car, so we're jacking it up from the little metal part that's actually underneath the jack point. So I really hope this car doesn't come crashing down on us, because that would not be fun. Ooh. That didn't sound good.
So that isn't a jack point anymore.
Well, it is. Keep going.
No, it just crunched.
Oh, well, Me, who cares? Yeah, look.
I can't f***ing jack this car up. Now I wonder if I actually jacked on the metal condition.
Did you loosen the lug nuts?
Oh, f***ing.
The most simple thing, Jeremy. Loosen the lug nuts before you jack it up.
You forgot that too.
I did actually say it, but I still forgot. 2 morons, 1 BMW. That's what we should title this video.
Is it this way?
2 men, 1 BMW. Lefty loosey, righty tighty.
So is this lefty loosey?
I don't know, look at it. Which way's left?
You'd tell me if I'm about to snap it, wouldn't you?
No. Oh, that looks healthy. Thanks to Australia's completely bipolar weather, it has decided to piss down right now. Luckily, we are undercover, working on side 2. Well, Jeremy is. I did first side. He's doing this one for the most part.
It's good.
See,
Yeah.
but this one is even worse than the other one. For some reason, it's very rusted. So let's see how many problems we run into.
Auto mechanical.
So we have the second rotor actually on now. That took about half the time of the first one. And then we need a shot of this car somewhere good. Should go out for a spin in it, see how it
Drop
goes.
Trinity off at work, eh?
Yeah, we can. I need to make sure the brakes work anyway.
So what we're seeing here, this is LGRH auto mechanical and tyres. As you can see, he only sells the finest Fire Maxes. Any shredded bolts on this one?
Nope, this is
This is for sale in our yard. For how much?
10 grand, take it or leave it.
No, that's wholesale. What's the normal price?
Sorry, what would we say? 15?
I think 15.
Well, considering some idiot paid 23 grand for a 2010 Mustang,
Mazda 3. SP25 with leather seats.
I reckon we can get a solid 15 grand.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I think 15 grand's on the lower end with how the market's going, mate. Sell the one next to you for 38. Sell this one for 25. Call it even at a handy. Look at this fucking...
15 grand and a case of beer.
That's a good price.
all yours.
What beer though?
Great Northerns are fine with me.
You want a Great Northern? I want a Great Northern.
Jeremy's doing the final touches. Putting the caliper back on. And it's almost done. May not be an Urbex video, but it's a mission success at the moment. We haven't tested the brakes on road yet, so we should probably do that to make sure that we haven't f***ed up entirely, because that would be devastating. Wouldn't it, Jeremy?
Why?
Or maybe it'd be fun to just drive straight off a cliff.
And Liam's payment for this is one wristy out the back of Wendy's.
Wendy's nuts fit in your mouth. You didn't even put the other one in.
I don't know what the f*** I'm doing.
Yeah, clearly.
I put the pads on the first time backwards.
Did you think you were done with the top screw? Or what?
No, I hadn't even started yet. Alright, well Liam's sweating away. I'm going to show you guys something cool that Mrs. gave me. Looks f***ing pretty good, eh? Liam's a bit sad that he didn't get one, but that's okay, because Liam can get a wristy outside Hungry Jack's.
Well, since it's wet and we have a manual rear-wheel drive car, do you know what time it is?
The brakes work.
Yeah, definitely. That, not the fact that we should do some mad skids. This is open diff though, so it doesn't skid the best, but we should weld it. I mean, we should still have some fun in it.
Yeah, tell Trinity it's for safety.
Yeah. So it's
That's yours.
It's his girlfriend's car at the moment. She's learning to drive manual.
No, she's gonna flog it off.
Welding the diff would make it a lot safer, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Especially when you do really fast accelerations around corners.
Safety, because this is slippery dip. It's like you got to slip off. Slippery dip, you f***ing stack it into a wall. You got a welded diff, you're straight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You want both wheels to spin at the same time.
Exactly, for safety.
This handle is kind of dodgy. But we're going to hear a... Oh, bang. We're going to hear her fire up, because it sounds like a mint BMW in mint condition. M52 roaring loud. If you've ever wanted to know what a BMW that's tampered with looks like, this tiny little flashing light here, or little dot, that means that this is not original. So this dash has 169,000 kilometers. But the old one, actually, the original, had 200 and something on it. So this is, and it broke. So we replaced this dash not to lower the kilometers, but to get this dash actually working. Obviously, it actually works. But this light is on permanently. The tamper light is on, and the traction light is permanently on, which doesn't really matter.
If it f***s up, remember, turn the car off or stall.
Yeah, it works.
Is it good now?
It's good. Looser than your
This is the project car. Wow.
Lives and breathes and is legal on the road.
Yeah.
See you in the mirror.
I can see
Sexy
myself.
motherfucker.
What the f, Trinity? Look. Both your windows work now. Oh. Yeah.
Maybe it was an electrical issue. So we're taking this thing for its first proper drive in quite a minute now. And since it's wet, we'll have some fun, hopefully. Jeremy's camera skills are on point today. Really f***ing amazing. Okay. So we have the E46 running. We're in right now. Our hands are still black, but the thing runs, drives, the brakes are great. They're smoking a little bit because we did a little cheeky nothing, absolutely nothing. Yeah, she runs, smells good, like nothing, which is good, except those brakes.
Yeah.
I hope they're not too tight on the front.
Who cares? They'll just wear down the floaters a bit.
They will.
Or the pads.
A little bit, yeah.
But what I would have thought is, I looked it up. If they were too tight, you would have turned one way. But if it's going straight,
it's driving straight. It's driving really nice, actually.
Yeah, probably. So she successfully runs, like I said before, stress tested and everything. What do you say? That was a W, Jeremy? Yeah, good limmy bash.
Common BMW W. Look at this headliner, bruh.
It gets worse day by day.
She's back, safe and sound. Brakes were a check, thumbs up. So, till the next video, where we paint this thing, because we're going to paint it eventually. I don't know when. I've got a compressor, just waiting on parts, attachments, all that, so we're going to paint this eventually.
Liam just maxed out his credit card before he got the paint equipment.
Yeah, well, let's just ignore that.
Get a brand new way, quiet on red, need no pump gas, need to keep it on tap.